Hello and welcome. Today we're going to explore a fascinating intersection of polymer chemistry, artificial intelligence, and automated robotics. We'll be diving into a paper titled Harnessing Data and Control with AI/ML-Driven Polymerization and Copolymerization, authored by Rigoberto Advincula and his colleagues at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. The central premise of this work is that the future of material science lies in creating and curating new data to augment our existing knowledge. This is particularly true for polymers. We're not necessarily talking about inventing brand new types of plastics from scratch. Instead, the authors argue that we can achieve highly improved, advantageous properties even with common commodity polymers by gaining unprecedented control over how they're made. The goal is to move beyond traditional, often wasteful, trial and error methods. The key to this new paradigm is the integration of artificial intelligence and machine learning, or AI/ML. By using AI/ML to optimize synthesis and manufacturing, we can achieve higher throughput and design more innovative directed experiments. This involves creating digital twins, virtual models of our chemical reactions, that use statistical and logic-derived designs to predict outcomes. These models, the authors propose, will be far superior to the conventional approach of simply trying things in the lab until something works. This paper describes and demonstrates protocols for optimizing polymerization and copolymerization. They use well-understood model monomers like styrene and acrylate to build their case. The heart of their system is a self-driving continuous flow chemistry reactor. This isn't just a beaker on a stir plate, it's a sophisticated setup equipped with sensors and instruments that provide real-time monitoring. This online data feeds directly into a machine learning model, creating a feedback loop that allows the system to adjust and optimize on the fly. We'll see some of their initial results, including how they use machine learning to refine the classical Mayo-Lewis equation, a cornerstone of copolymerization theory. They also lay out the blueprint for a future data generating station, an autonomous flow reactor that can precisely control the copolymerization process. Ultimately, the vision is for a collaborative future where human scientists guide AI-driven protocols to autonomously fabricate new polymers with targeted properties, using both existing literature and newly generated data. Let's begin by unpacking the challenge that polymers present. Macromolecules are complex. Their high molecular weight, the distribution of that weight, their linear or branched structure, and the functionality of their end groups create an almost infinite number of possible combinations. This complexity makes it incredibly difficult to define the precise relationships between a polymer structure, composition, processing, and its final properties. We need a new language to describe these complex molecules, something more powerful than simple chemical nomenclature. The key is to link phenomena across scales, from the atomic and nanoscale all the way up to the macroscopic properties we can see and measure. This requires advanced spectroscopic and microscopic characterization techniques that can observe reactions as they happen. For example, to truly understand a polymerization mechanism, our measurement probe has to operate on the same timescale as the chemical reaction itself. This is where AI/ML comes in. It allows us to optimize these complex experiments in a way that approaches human intuition or heuristics, but with the power of computation. By using sensors in a feedback loop and simulations to create digital twins, we can optimize for desired properties in near real time. The authors lay out a clear vision for an integrated, autonomous system. It begins with the design of a controlled, well-designed continuous flow chemistry reactor. This physical hardware is then coupled with an ML-driven workflow for in situ or real-time characterization, using a suite of instruments like NMR, Raman, UV-BIRS, and others. The data from these instruments is fed to an edge server or computer, which handles control, feedback, and analysis. This system is powered by a core software stack capable of deep learning and reinforcement learning, and it has access to high-performance computing resources for more intensive calculations. The focus of this paper is on copolymerization, the process of creating a polymer from two or more different types of monomers. The microstructure and composition of a copolymer are essential in controlling its final properties. The foundational theory for this is the Mayo-Lewis equation. This equation transformed the field by providing a way to correlate the composition of the monomers you start with, the comonomer feed, to the final composition of the copolymer. It does this through a concept called reactivity ratios, which we'll denote as RR. For decades, chemists have used various linear and nonlinear methods to estimate these reactivity ratio values from experimental data. However, the classical Mayo-Lewis equation has its limits. It doesn't always capture the influence of things like penultimate unit effects, where the second-to-last monomer in the chain influences the next addition, depolymerization, or the reaction environment itself, things like the solvent, concentration, or pH. The authors argue there's a need to use modern machine learning and autonomous methods, particularly in continuous flow chemistry, to update and augment this classical model. This leads to several key questions that the paper seeks to address. How can our mechanistic models for polymerization be augmented by ML-driven control? How can we use theory and simulation to create effective digital twins? What is the role of large language models, or LLMs, in this process? And what are the critical challenges in developing these self-driving autonomous reactors? At a recent workshop on this topic, a key point of discussion was the role of the expert in the loop. The goal is not to eliminate human scientific intuition and creativity, but to preserve and enhance it through automation. To build their system, the authors first considered various methods and databases. They looked at molecular descriptors like SMILES, which represent chemical structures as text strings, and databases that correlate structure to activity or properties. The challenge is that much of the existing data in handbooks is of variable quality and age. They concluded that what is truly needed are new data acquisition and mining stations for polymer science. These stations would enable rapid screening of material properties, create a feedback loop between synthesis and property, and integrate machine learning directly into the experimental workflow. This leads to the ultimate goal, an autonomous, self-driving experimental setup with a closed-loop operation, where theory and modeling provide real-time feedback to guide the experiment. A key technology here is continuous flow polymerization. While common in the pharmaceutical industry, it's an emerging technology for precision polymer synthesis. The advantages are significant. Tubular reactors allow for rapid mixing and excellent heat and mass transfer, which is crucial for reactions with fast kinetics. A critical parameter is the residence time distribution, or RTD. A narrow RTD means all the molecules spend a similar amount of time in the reactor, leading to well-controlled polymerization and more uniform products. The authors used several commercial flow reactors and automated sampling systems in their work. For continuous flow, they use systems like the Phoenix flow reactor, capable of high temperatures and pressures, and the modular Snapdragon chemistry system. These systems allow for precise control over reaction parameters. To make the system autonomous, they developed the user interface using Python scripting. This interface controls the equipment, generates the training data by running experiments, reads the sensor signals, evaluates the results against optimization objectives, and then performs the next iteration in a feedback loop. The key variables they optimized were the molar ratio of reagents, the flow rate, temperature, and pressure. They connected several independent instruments to their central control server, including FTIR, Raman, UV-Vis, and a quartz crystal microbalance. This allows for a wealth of characterization data to be collected during the experiment. The data is visualized for the user through web applications and standardized using open-source software packages. On the simulation side, they developed a coarse-grained molecular dynamics protocol to model batch copolymerization based on the Mayo-Lewis model. Using the simulation package LAMPS, they implemented a command that facilitates the creation of bonds during the polymerization process. Instead of setting reaction rate constants directly, they assigned a probability for each possible bond formation event. These probabilities allow for the direct calculation of the reactivity ratios, R1 and R2. Let's look more closely at those reactivity ratios. They are at the heart of understanding copolymer structure. The authors provide a table that clarifies the concept. Imagine a growing polymer chain that ends in monomer type 1, which we'll call M1. It has two choices. It can react with another M1 monomer, or it can react with an M2 monomer. The reactivity ratio R1 is the ratio of the rate constants for these two events. It tells us the preference of a growing M1 chain for adding another M1 versus an M2. Similarly, R2 describes the preference of a growing M2 chain. The values of R1 and R2 define the sequence and morphology of the final copolymer, and the table illustrates the limiting cases. If both R1 and R2 are essentially zero, it means each monomer type strongly prefers to react with the other type, resulting in a perfectly alternating copolymer. like AB, AB, AB. If both R1 and R2 are equal to 1, there's no preference, leading to a random copolymer. If both are much greater than 1, each monomer prefers to react with itself, potentially leading to a mixture of two homopolymers or a block polymer. And if R1 is very large and R2 is very small, you'll get long blocks of monomer 1. These ratios are the mathematical key to predicting the polymer's architecture. The researchers use both batch reactions with timestamp sampling and continuous plug-flow reactions to demonstrate their principles for ML-directed synthesis of both homopolymers and copolymers. Now, let's turn to the concept of the digital twin for copolymerization. This digital twin is a virtual replica of the experimental system. It combines reaction models like the Mayo-Lewis equation or kinetic Monte Carlo innovations with details about the process like initiation, propagation, termination, and temperature strategy. This allows chemists to explore a vast multivariable space and run what-if scenarios without ever stepping into the lab. The digital twin can also incorporate other established correlations. For example, the Alfrey-Price QE scheme relates the reactivity ratios of monomers to their fundamental electronic and steric parameters. This helps explain why certain monomers copolymerize randomly while others form more blocky structures. Other correlations, like the Mark-Howing-Sakurada equation, link reactivity ratios to properties like intrinsic viscosity, helping to predict the final material properties of the copolymer blend. The authors used their ML modeling to explore these cross-term correlations. They generated a correlation matrix that visualizes the effect of various monomer descriptors on the final reactivity ratios. Molecular descriptors include things like molecular weight, log P, which is a measure of a molecule's lipophilicity or oil solubility, and topological polar surface area, or TPSA, which relates to a molecule's permeability. The matrix shows a complex web of positive and negative correlations between these intrinsic monomer properties and the reactivity ratios that ultimately define the copolymer structure. A crucial finding is that the solvent has a significant effect on the kinetics and mechanism of copolymerization, even though it's not explicitly part of the classical Mayo-Lewis equation. The solvent can affect solubility, thermodynamic parameters, and reaction rates. For example, hydrogen bonding interactions with a monomer can influence the reaction. The paper provides a compelling visualization of this effect for the copolymerization of methacrylic acid and styrene. A violin plot shows the distribution of reported reactivity ratios for these two monomers, and another plot shows how these ratios change depending on the solvent used. In product solvents, which can donate hydrogen bonds, the reactivity of methacrylic acid is suppressed. In aproduct solvents, it's higher. This tunability, simply by changing the solvent, allows for control over the polymer morphology without changing the monomers themselves. The plots show that by choosing the right solvent, acetone, dioxane, or chloroform, one can steer the reaction to produce a random, gradient, or alternating polymer architecture. This is a powerful control lever that an AI/ML system can learn to use. With this framework in place, the authors aim to develop their autonomous continuous flow chemistry capability. The process, as described in the methodology, involved 4 steps. First, designing the robust and reconfigurable flow system. Second, putting inline characterization capabilities into the platform. Third, linking the hardware to software for remote control and data storage. And finally, moving beyond simple automation to an AI/ML-powered system that can autonomously design and carry out synthetic routes. They successfully configured a Snapdragon continuous flow reactor system, augmented it with their own Python scripting, and rerouted the flow through as many as 5 different instruments for simultaneous real-time analysis. Let's look at some of the experimental data. For the homopolymerization of a monomer, abbreviated P2VPPS, they ran the reaction in the continuous flow reactor, stepping up the flow rate. The data shows a clear correlation. As the reaction proceeds over time, the monomer concentration decreases and the percent conversion to polymer increases, confirming that the plug-flow reactor environment behaves as expected. They also used NMR spectroscopy to monitor copolymerization in real time. In a series of spectra taken over several hours, we can clearly see the peaks corresponding to the monomers decrease in intensity, while new peaks corresponding to the polymer grow in. The arrows on the plot point this out vividly. From this kind of time series data, one can extract kinetic information and even construct an Arrhenius plot to determine the reaction's activation energy. The power of their simulation approach is also demonstrated. Snapshots from their coarse-grained molecular dynamic simulations show how different copolymer structures emerge from the same initial condition of monomers and initiators. By simply changing the underlying probabilities of reaction, which is equivalent to changing the reactivity ratios R1 and R2, the simulation produces distinct homopolymers, a well-mixed random copolymer, and a highly ordered alternating copolymer. A sequence map for the random case shows the detailed microscopic information that can be extracted from such a simulation, which can then be compared directly with experimental results to validate and refine the digital twin. Revisiting the Mayo-Lewis equation, the authors emphasize that it defines the instantaneous copolymer composition. As a reaction proceeds, the monomers might be consumed at different rates, causing the feed composition to drift. This in turn causes the composition of the polymer being formed to change over time. This is why it's so useful to have real-time monitoring. By tracking monomer concentrations with methods like NMR or GCMS, the system can account for this compositional drift. The authors show how their attempts to use simulation and time series data reveal the possibilities for ML-driven control. Their digital twin, built on the Mayo-Lewis equation, allows them to explore a vast range of conditions. ML modeling can then generate kinetic profiles for specific copolymer structures, random, block, gradient, and optimize reaction variables to maximize yield or control polydispersity. A key part of their future work involves leveraging the vast repository of scientific literature using large language models, or LLMs. The data in existing handbooks is often insufficient, so can we use the reactivity ratio data scattered across countless publications as a descriptor for ML models? The authors demonstrate the feasibility of this using a retrieval-augmented generation, or RAG framework, with an LLM called Forge, which was developed at ORNL. This model is specifically designed for scientific literature. They ran a query on their embedded copolymerization database for reactants, products, specific conditions, and references. The system returned over 5,000 copolymerization items, with 247 of them specifically referring to the butyl acrylate styrene system they were interested in, pulling information from publications, patents, and abstracts. This shows the potential for AI to mine existing human knowledge to kickstart the discovery process. To augment their flow reactors, the team also developed a universal spectroscopic in situ diagnostics protocol for feedback and control. This is a critical piece of the autonomous experiment. They show data from the thermal copolymerization of two monomers, VSB and HEMA. The experiment uses a thermally controlled cell block to measure UV-Vis absorption spectra as the reaction proceeds. The plot on the left shows the evolution of absorbance over time. The presence of clear isospestic points, points where the absorbance doesn't change, indicates a clean simultaneous process is occurring. To deconstruct this complex data, they used principal component analysis, or PCA. The plot on the right shows the result. The evolving spectra are broken down into component fraction traces, allowing them to follow the kinetic evolution of the copolymerization process in detail. Looking to the future, the authors plan to implement more advanced optimization algorithms. For single-objective optimization, they suggest algorithms like SN-ALBOBFIT. For the more complex, multi-objective optimizations common in flow chemistry, they point to methods like Bayesian optimization, Pareto-efficient global optimization, and Thompson sampling. These advanced algorithms are well suited for the noisy and computationally expensive problems found in chemical synthesis and can help the system strike the right balance between exploring new conditions and exploiting known good ones. In their conclusions, the authors summarized their demonstration of ML modeling and rationalization for both batch and continuous flow copolymerization. The ultimate aim is a more autonomous and innovative ecosystem for material synthesis. This represents a shift away from the conventional linear R&D paradigm of make, measure, model. The new approach uses in situ interconnected instruments and measurements coupled directly with data science to accelerate materials discovery for polymers. This new ecosystem offers several key advantages. First, the possibility of discovering new kinetic and thermodynamic biased reaction pathways. Second, the ability to produce new and known polymers much faster and more efficiently, with the optimal protocol stored as digital files for perfect reproducibility. Third, increased safety, especially for sensitive reactions that are difficult to control in large batches. And fourth, the modularization of reactions and separations, which could allow for rapid deployment of synthesis capabilities in various manufacturing settings. The work demonstrates a clear advantage for AI/ML in the complex field of copolymerization. By leveraging LLMs, continuous flow synthesis, and a high-throughput real-time data-driven approach, this research paves the way for a new era of precision polymer synthesis and accelerated materials discovery. The fusion of interconnected instruments and intelligent algorithms promises to fundamentally change how we create the materials of the future.